So good morning everyone. It's coming up to afternoon really. Have to admit I have struggled to get up here in the mornings for the last couple of days, which is a bit of a slap on the wrist, but ultimately both Kate and myself have been battling quite a few illnesses, one after the other. Both of us contracted gastritis about 2 weeks ago. You can hear that in the background, that's a donkey just over the hill. So funny. But yeah, both of us contracted gastritis. We were really, really ill with it. And then straight after it, Kate brought the lurg back from her work. So it's been a real bummer actually, a bummer of a month, just for health reasons. And it has made everything incredibly challenging. I've just really struggled. My body just feels whacked. Just having to take everything so slow. So a lot of the projects have just backed up. Yeah, it's very frustrating, but it is what it is. We can't force ourselves to do something if we're really not feeling up to it at the time. So I've just pretty much got here. I've let the ducks out. We had a lovely egg this morning. So we are getting at least one egg a morning from, I think it's possibly Gemma. Gemma's the Cherry Valley. So at least there's something there. But of course, this is something that we'll need to address when we do become more customer focused and start using the surplus store. So I don't know if you can see it behind me. So yes, there we go. Sorry, my camera skills today, guys. I'm really sorry. So the shed, we've got someone lined up who's going to totally revamp it for us, replace all the timber inside, timber frames, timber floors. We'll get the shelving up and possibly get some light as well. So the lighting will be solar operated. So we do have to get a couple of solar panels. But once we've got the shop up and running, it's really important for us to address produce. And at the moment, with only, I think we've only got 6 ducks now left. Unfortunately, we did lose 1 or 2. But with the remaining ducks, they're just not producing enough to sustain us and sustain the customer base that is already existing. We do have quite a few people who are asking us for eggs, and we just don't have them at the moment. So we have to sort of consider what we're going to do about that. Of course, one of the answers is get more animals, but it's also down to the breed, which ones are more suited to the job, and that's one thing that we'll be looking into. We're also about to delve into chicken ownership, so more poultry, and yeah, it's going to be quite an exciting year in next year if things go to plan. We've got to sort out the stock fencing, so I'm just down next to our goat shelter. There's the roof just there, and we just need to get all the stock fencing in. We've only just got the posts in, no stock fencing yet, so we need to get that sorted ASAP. Excuse me for the rambling. One of these symptoms is literally just mind fog. I'm just really struggling. But we started on Kate's terracing there, and she started putting in some cardboard boxes. So she's stripping as much of the plastic off as she can, flattening out the boxes. She's putting it down straight onto the subsoil there. So that is just the original subsoil there. That's the stuff that she dug in, that we were doing with buckets at one point. It was ridiculous, like 10 tons of the stuff just with a bucket. And she's going, oh, I need more. And I'm just thinking, oh, no, count me out this time. It was hard work, guys. I'm telling you that now. So she's terracing her side. Now, I'm doing my side differently to avoid so much dependency on putting subsoil in. And frankly, I don't think it's necessary. So what I'm going to do with my side, I'm going to dig in little steps and front them off with sleepers. I'm going to use tree stakes to hold the sleepers back, not batten. So it's really, really strong. I'm going to really knock them in. And then anything that's poking above the line, in terms of the tree stake, anything that's above the line of the sleepers I'll keep. I can put chicken wire along, and I can grow things like peas right on the edge of my beds. You might also be able to see just there, sorry, which way do I need to point? There. It's just here. You might see those 8 posts sticking out. So that is going to be our squash arch, and it's going to go all the way along. So it starts just where our steps come down, but it's going to go all the way along here, and it's going to create a lovely place to grow vertically. So we can grow some forms of tomato and hitch them up. We can grow cucumbers, squashes, lots of different things. We're even going to grow our own loofahs and sell natural bath products. So the loofah is a great sponge once it dries out. You can eat them while they're young. Once they go beyond a certain point, they become fibrous, and that's how you end up with your loofah sponges. So we'll be growing those. What else am I doing? Today. So my project for today. I woke up this morning still feeling absolutely awful. I'm just constantly tired at the moment, but it's part of it. And unfortunately, even though both of us might be feeling sorry for ourselves, we do have animals that are dependent on us, so we have to drag ourselves out and just do what needs to be done. But I thought I want to be up here for a little bit. I want to benefit from the fresh air as much as I can, and actually get a couple of projects done. So our friend Anne, thank you very much, Anne, this is a mention for you, bought us an early Christmas present. And she's very good at presents, and she knows what we like and what we need. And she has bought us a lovely assortment of bulbs. Now, I'm really into all forms of horticulture, not just edibles. I really like building beds that have colour and fragrance in and attract as many different species as possible. And Anne's really helping with that. She's bought this lovely selection of bulbs for us. There you go. So we've got irises in there, we've got narcissi, lots of different types of daffodils, we've got anemones. It's going to be beautiful. Now, of course, not all of them are going to be able to go into the same bed. For example, irises, they don't really like to be in soil. They like to be in quite gravelly soil. So with minimal loam in there. But they like more gravel, more sand. So the irises will have to go elsewhere. But the others, I'm going to try and attempt to do a bed for today. So that is my job. I'll see if I can do it. Of course, I've got to be honest with myself, and if I'm just not feeling up to it, that's that. But I just want to do something today, even if it's small. So I'll take some photographs and we'll see how I get on. Again, thank you for your support, and hopefully in the new year we can be inviting you to share in this beautiful place. We might have a yurt by then, or a roundhouse for the holistic therapies and sort of talks that we plan to do, which will be just sort of down on the slope there, so nice and sheltered from the wind. So there'll be options for visitors at that point. In the meantime, just please keep looking out for our videos. Please like, subscribe, share. Any ideas that you might have, if there's something you'd like to see, if you've got any questions, please ask us. We routinely do check the comments. We've had a lot of questions about ducks, particularly recently. For example, what is it like owning them? And before I go, I'll just briefly touch on that. Ducks, they're okay. I like all animals, but I'm used to owning poultry, chickens. And even though chickens are hard work, they don't smell as much. There's a real acrid odour to ducks. The reason being they poo every 2 minutes. And when you've got lots of them, they very quickly turn their enclosure into mud, and their feet tread it down, and it becomes very compacted and very slippery. So they're very messy creatures. We try and do our best for them. We give them fresh leaves to stand on. In the summer when it's drier, we give them straw or wood chippings and things like that. But within a couple of days it's just starting to turn to mud. So it's a lot of work. In terms of eating, they're quite good because they do sort of, they only eat small amounts during the day, they sort of pick out their food, so you can work out how much each duck needs. So you can be quite economical about food, but the food itself can be quite costly. So at the moment we're using duck and geese layer pellets, and they are going for around about £11.50 for 20 kilos, which in comparison to other foods that we're going to have to start buying in the new year for our other animals, it's pretty cheap, but of course it still adds up, particularly in the winter when we're not able to sell eggs, when they're not laying, and of course it's coming out of our pocket then. So if you are thinking about getting ducks, I would definitely look up one, make sure you get the right breed for you, because there's lots of different types. You want ones that, they're easy to manage, they're friendly, they're very dependable for laying, so look up sort of the average yearly production for eggs if you are looking to get plenty of eggs, either to sell or to use. And also just be aware as well of your space. Some ducks are sort of like, they like a different, slightly different habitat, but of course they all need to have access to water. So there's lots of different things to think about, but that's basically the main question we've had so far. But if you have any other queries, of course, please just drop us a line and we'll be very happy to answer those questions. Anyway, thank you for supporting us and look forward to seeing you at the next video.